on my own. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames won't burn us.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing What If Deku Was the Shredder? Don't forget about the challenge. If you find the All Might action figure somewhere around on the screen right now, you will be entered in to win a shout-out. Whoever finds all 10, action figures wins a shout-out at the end of this challenge. And, also, don't forget, if you watch till the end of the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and then United States of smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video, because I have been streaming Resident Evil 3 lately, so I want you guys to come join me when I'm doing that. You know, we can talk. So yeah, in this What If, Deku is going to have a twin brother. This twin brother will be the Deku we know in canon, the one that gets one for all, the one that goes to the USJ and all that. So yeah, we're gonna start when Deku was like 6 years old, or 7 years old, and his house catches on fire, and, you know, he's running with his brother, then a piece of wood separates them, and then the heroes come in, and instead of trying to rescue him, they only rescue, I'm gonna say, Canon Deku, when I'm talking about his twin brother. And instead of trying to rescue him, and rescuing his brother, they only rescued his brother. They didn't even try and get him, despite him screaming and screaming for them to save him and save him. They don't even try. They don't even acknowledge him. One of the heroes just scoffs when he hears the screams. And then once one of the heroes got Deku out of there, a ember, like a giant wooden piece, came off and hit him right in the face. All the embers, all the ashes hit him all at once on the face, burning half of his face in return. And the hero, when hearing these agonizing screams of pain, scoffs at it. He just scoffs and leaves the building. And he doesn't even acknowledge that Deku needs saving. He just hears the screams of agony, the screams of pain, the pain of a child, and walks away. Then the building collapses. Canon Deku is safe, but Deku, or Shredder Deku, isn't. So now I'm going to say, a couple hours later, Deku climbs his way out of the debris, with burns all over him, and the most notable one being the half of his face. Then, All For One walks up, and he sees this child with horrible burns that probably caused him agonizing pain. All For One takes this child in, and with the doctor's help, and with his quirk, he gives Deku super strength and super speed, and the doctor gives him armor that is able to extend these sharp claw-like things on his knuckles. Kind of like the Wolverine, but he can't control them, and he can only use them with these gauntlets. And he gives them this full plate of armor, and he also, tends to his burns. Now his burns will leave a permanent scar, including his half of his face will forever be burnt, is what the doctor said. And Deku, after what happened and seeing that those heroes didn't care about his pain and only cared about saving who they could and didn't even try to save him, and how he could have died because of those heroes, and how One For All saved him, he thinks of heroes as an embarrassment to society. He thinks there needs to be a strong person who can protect us. There needs to be people. There needs to be rules that prohibits anybody from not helping when they can. He needs to be the person who can prevent these hero imposters. Stain? No, he's not going to be Stain. Get it out of your head. But he is going to have thoughts like Stain. He wants to say the same thing as Stain, to get rid of fake heroes. But this Deku follows a lot, instead of following Stain, he follows One For All's morals. But he does want the society that Stain wants. So it's kind of a half-half. He thinks All For One is right and, heroes should be obliterated. And then, or not heroes should be obliterated, but only the strong should survive. But he also thinks that all the fake heroes should be eliminated. So, Deku is full-on Shredder mode now. So, One For All, I'm gonna say One For All has a villain that knows all kinds of karate, kung fu, all of that. He knows all of it. Ninjutsu, all of it. And Deku has been training under this person. And he's been training under All For One. And sometimes he'll spar with Shigaraki. And other high-ranking League of Villains operatives. So now we're gonna kind of go over to his brother. Right now, his brother is getting One For All. This is around the time Deku is getting One For All. So I'm gonna say both Dekus are 13 years old. Or no, I'm gonna say Deku, Shredder Deku, is 1 year older than regular Deku. Canon Deku. So, that kind of gives him an advantage. A little advantage. So, now we're going to skip to the actually, no. So, after his training, every day he will go out and hunt fake heroes like Stain does. But except he doesn't only hunt fake heroes, but he'll hunt heroes that aren't sinking money. He'll hunt any hero that One For All sends him out to kill. And he'll kill any hero that he wants to kill. So I'm going to say every day he goes out at night and kills a hero. And one of the heroes he attempted to kill was, what's his name? Eraserhead. One night he was, he found this hero, and he snuck up behind him. The hero turned around, punched him, but then hurt his knuckle on his helmet, and then Deku went in to stab him, but Eraserhead stopped him and kicked him straight in the face, knocking his helmet off. And Eraserhead was so surprised at his wound that he gave Shredder Deku an opening to stab him. And then he pulled his thing out, and the other hero went in to punch him, but he slashed the hero's neck. And then the hero backed up into a wall and started sliding down it. And then Eraserhead went in full eraser mode, kind of like he did during the USJ. And he was punching Deku, right hook, left hook, in the stomach, in the abdomen, in the leg, in the head. He's just punching everywhere. And then Deku got one good punch into Eraserhead. Right now, since Eraserhead can only erase one cork, he erased Deku's speed. So Deku punched Eraserhead straight in the face. And if you guys did not know, Shredder can actually break the shells of the turtles. And seeing how big the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can get, that must mean that their shells are harder than normal turtle shells. Seeing how big they are, I'd have to say they're at least 5 times stronger than normal turtles' shells. So if Shredder's able to break through those shells and, knock them out and, just full-on destroy them, and then I'm pretty sure he's even gotten, beat up by a giant crocodile. And in case you guys did not know, the crocodile has one of the strongest bite forces on the planet. And now think of a crocodile as big as a building or a house. Maybe a 2-story house, maybe? I don't know. But just think of a crocodile that's able to move like a human, that's as big as a house. Yeah, he got bitten by that and survived and came back to take down that alligator or crocodile, whatever, and then still keep fighting. So now think of that as Shredder Deku. Yeah, that is an adult Shredder, but okay, back to the story. So Deku hooked Eraserhead straight in the mouth, breaking Eraserhead's jaw, and it launched Eraserhead straight into a wall, leaving an imprint on the wall. And then Eraserhead dropped unconscious. Shredder Deku was about to finish it, but the cops came, so he ran off. And now we're going to skip to the USJ incident. And Deku would be at basically the forefront of the attack. And he walks through the portal, and he sees all those children, and he thinks of how the heroes are corrupting these children, and how he needs to not only kill the heroes, but if he can, manipulate these young heroes in training to join the League of Villains. And if he can't manipulate them, then he'll have to kill them. Kind of like what Darth Vader said in Empire Strikes Back. Or was it Return of the Jedi? Well, whatever. He said, if you will not join me, then I will kill you. That's kind of what Deku's thinking. If they don't join him, then he kills them. As easy as that. So, he's walking up. Then he sees Eraserhead, the person he almost killed, taking down each and every single one of his troops. Or technically one for all his troops, but he is basically the second in line to get the throne to the League of Villains, other than Shigaraki. Both of them will kind of have to co-own the League of Villains. Sorry I keep on getting off track. I'm just kind of trying to explain things in depth so you guys don't get confused on anything. Like how strong Shredder is and, how that'll sit in for Deku. And, the backstory and all that. So, yeah. Gosh, I keep on getting so off track. So, yeah. And Deku, he rushes at, Eraserhead. And Eraserhead immediately erases Deku's speed quirk. And then sweeps underneath him. Sweeps Deku's feet right off of him. And then stomps Deku's neck. But because of his helmet, he had improved armor during this. Like, not exactly improved armor, but he had a neck armor. You know how some warriors had, like, neck armor that connects to their helmet or mask or whatever? That's what Shredder has, or Shredder Deku has. So it didn't hurt his neck. So then Deku punches Eraserhead's leg, and then he says, "Nomu, he's annoying me." And then the Nomu launches at Eraserhead, grabs Eraserhead by the head, and then, launches again, and, just crushes his head into the stairs. The stairs that leads up to the entrance? Well, Eraserhead just got, Nomu had him by the head and, just slammed him straight into the stairs. And then was holding him there. And then kind of did what he did in original continuity. He pulled his head up, then slammed him back in. Shredder was kind of amused by this. He was amused, how he has such a strong ally on his team. And then Shigaraki said, "I was waiting to use that, Deku." Shredder Deku, not liking that name, grabs Shigaraki by the throat, then grabs both of his arms so he can't grab his hand, and says, "Don't call me that," and then throws him. And then he sees the children are fighting, and the entire team in the water has been taken down. And he tries to find the suspects, so then he looks in the air and sees that, they're coming down. So he rushes to that area. And this is when he immediately stops, and he sees his brother. His brother. The brother that he had not seen in years. The brother he thought, hold on, had abandoned him to die. The brother he thought didn't even try to convince the heroes to save him. This makes him mad, but he still loves his brother. But he didn't like how the heroes only saved him. And he didn't even try to convince them otherwise. So instead of running, he starts walking. Then all of them see him. Canon Deku does not notice that it's his brother. He just sees this guy in an entire bodysuit, a person maybe 1 year older than him, in a metal or titanium suit with claws and with a helmet. That's all he sees. And with a cape, of course. So he gets up and he prepares to fight. And then Froppy pulls him back and says, "We need to save your stamina." I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I tried to do my best impression, but that sounded really, really crappy. So I'll never do that again. So she says, no, we have to save your stamina. Seeing how useful you were, we need to save your stamina. So she turns towards the villain and she says, Mineta, if you help me, I'll let you touch my boobs. And Mineta is like, ah! And then starts like squirting out blood through his nose, and he's like, alright! And he like charges at Shredder Deku, says, I'm gonna kill you! You don't know what's on the line! And he starts throwing his balls at Deku. Oh gosh. No homo. He starts throwing his balls at Deku, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you! Deku is just slicing them all, because Shredder, I'm gonna say Shredder's, or his claws that the Doc made are able to slice through some of the toughest things on Earth. So, or not exactly toughest things, like, he can't slice through rock, but like, things like that. Like, things that are weaker than rock, he's able to slice through. And he's just slicing through them as if they're, like, paper or a apple. He's just slicing through them before they can even hit him. And then Deku dodges one and then sweeps under him and punches him. And then he sees Froppy launching at him. Then he uses his claws to stab. Froppy dodges this and kicks him. Then Deku, not wanting to see his friends get hurt, he launches at Shredder Deku and punches Shredder Deku straight in the face, knocking his helmet clean off. And then Deku realizes that it's his twin brother, and he backs off, but Twin Deku is like, why didn't you save me in that fire? Half of my face got burned off because of you. And Twin Deku said, because it... And then Shredder Deku punches Cannon Deku clean in the face, almost breaking his jaw. And Deku staggers back and he says, I thought you were corkless, like me. And then Deku says, I have been blessed with a cork. And then with corks. And this beautiful armor that has allowed me to become stronger than anyone else. And then Shredder Deku launches at Cannon Deku and goes in to stab him, and he's just using both hands with his claws and is just going at him. Deku keeps on dodging, and then he punches Shredder Deku straight in the abdomen. And Shredder Deku is like, ugh. And then Cannon Deku looks down to where his fist hit and realizes that he has titanium armor on that basically absorbed the punch. And Deku backs off and then gets hit with a hook, a right hook, straight to the jaw. And then another left hook, and then right hook. And then a punch, an uppercut straight to the stomach. And then Shredder Deku does a full 180 and kicks Cannon Deku straight in the jaw, launching Cannon Deku straight into a wall. Shredder Deku, seeing All Might arrived, he chases after All Might, but then he gets met with like 30 punches immediately and gets launched straight into a wall. Then the Nomu and All Might get into their fight. And then Deku wakes up and gets up, and then he sees Froppy. She had launched straight at him, is coming in to kick him through the wall. But then Shredder Deku dodges and stabs her. He stabs Froppy straight in the side. And then he pushes her straight into the ground, or slams her straight into the ground, with his claws still in her hip. He slams her into the ground and pulls his claw out. Deku, seeing one of his classmates get so badly injured with one hit, he goes full Super Saiyan, basically. And he launches at Deku, and he's like, "How dare you do that?" Ah! And he goes in full Super Saiyan and just punches the crap out of Shredder Deku, breaking several pieces of his armor off. And then he hooks Deku straight in the face, or Shredder Deku. He regular Cannon Deku hooks Shredder Deku in the jaw, launching him straight into a wall, and then launches at him, kicks him through that wall, and then slams him into the ground. But then Shredder Deku, kind of does a backflip kind of thing while he's on the ground to get back up, and then he punches Deku, and he punches him again, and then he slashes at Deku, slashing Deku, right across the chest, ripping his hero costume. And then he punches Deku in the face, and punches Deku in the face, and punches Deku in the face. And then he slides underneath Deku's legs, and then he gets up behind Deku and stabs him in the hip area, kind of behind your hip, how it's on your back area, but right behind your hip. That's where he stabbed him. And then he pulls his blade out, sucks his blade back in, and karate chops Deku straight in the neck, knocking Deku out. All Might just now defeated the Nomu. And, I'm gonna say All Might has a little bit more time. So, when Shredder Deku and Shigaraki and, the portal guy, or not the portal guy, Rush, All Might, knowing which one's stronger, he punches Shredder Deku, straight in the stomach, blowing his entire chest armor off, and his back armor off, and launches him, all the way back, and then, the portal guy teleports Shredder and Shigaraki out of there before All Might can punch Shigaraki. And I'm sorry that I paused so many times during this. I'm really sorry about that. Super sorry. I hope this didn't affect the video for you guys. And I also hoped you guys enjoyed my new intro. My last intro was copyrighted so many times, so I had to get rid of that. And I posted my new intro up on my channel. You guys can go watch it by itself. I did that as a kind of test to see if it would get copyrighted. It didn't. So, yippee. I don't need to not use it. So yeah, if you watch the video till the very end, make sure you hit the like button. But if you watched the video till the very end, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And then United States of smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Say part 2 to this, or I'm doing another Resident Evil live stream. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Don't forget about the challenge.